reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
You're logging into your favorite game, grinding out some gear. A couple of points added to your stats, and you have a virtual beer. Max level is pretty cool, but I'll remind you here, my friend. These games are not about the goal, it's about the journey and not the end.
You're listening to MMO Reporter, brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/MMO Reporter. And by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon with Doghouse Systems.
Don't forget about your ults you need to cherish. Each and every little character you've got, no matter what level they're at. Don't forget about your ults you need to cherish.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of MMO Reporter. This is episode 224. I'm Chris, and I am joined by the ever so wonderful Mr. at MMO Bill himself. Hello, Bill.
The ever so present, because I'm here. I'm great. How about yourself?
You are a present, Bill. Podcasting with you is the greatest gift I could ever ask for.
Did you just call me an oral present?
I don't know.
Oral is in our oral. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Because it's an audio podcast.
Oh, that's so funny, Bill. So funny.
The best jokes are the ones that you have to explain.
Of course. We've got an interesting show today. We've got not too much big news out there. A few little things to talk about, but we've got some new music to premiere for everyone here today, and some great news about a Kickstarter. So let's get right into what we have been doing in game. Bill, why don't you start?
Well, I've been anticipating our fancy new musical debut, so I deliberately didn't play any games so that we wouldn't have to spend too much time talking about what we're playing this week. No, unfortunately, this summer, a lot of people. I think I'm diving into that summer game doldrum that seems to happen every single year, where it feels like you should have more time. The days are longer. There's no school, so that you don't have all the extra responsibilities for carting kids around and everything like that. It seems like it should be a simpler time, but it really isn't.
Really isn't.
A whole bunch of crazy reasons, but. Anyway, so I've got that going on for me. I did play some Guild Wars 2. We played some Guild Wars 2 together last night.
We did with Celeste and Alona.
Exactly, yeah. And oh, sorry, who was the other fellow who was with us too?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember.
It wasn't throwing me.
Panther? No, was it Panther?
Yes, we'll go with Panther.
Yes.
He'll correct us if we're wrong.
Which we most likely are.
Anyway, so we actually had a 5-person group going for a while. We got some pretty good matches that way. We got monkey stomped, I think, in our first one, and actually we're fairly competitive the rest of the way. I think we won. Did we win one or two more?
Two. I think we won 2.
Yeah, so we did not bad, and just had tons of fun. Even more important than winning is it was just fun. After that first match where I will be the first to admit that I was horribly rusty and playing terribly and everything like that. After that match, it started to come together. I started doing my dagger pistol combo with the thief. I'm getting a lot better at creating my own free stealth moves without having to have that second dagger that gives you the other even freer and cheaper stealth.
Right.
I'm finding that I'm getting a lot better at the hop around attacks. Like the way I've got my bar set up. Sorry, we're going to go inside baseball and Guild Wars 2 for a second here, because this is just what I've got this week, people. I've got, what is it now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 abilities on my bar out of I guess it's the 11 when you count the F1 key, abilities that are actual teleports that basically jump me around the screen one way or another, which is kind of how I always imagined, like going back to the very original Guild Wars 2 trailers, that's how I imagined the thief was meant to be played. Was that it wasn't so much that it was a sneaky character, but it was a character that was just hard to nail down. It was hopping and bouncing and going in all kinds of weird different directions, and hard to hit because not because they're invisible or they have the power of invisibility, which is a bit of a cheat. It's something that's seen as a pretty cheesy tactic in every other MMO I've ever played, but more because of their mobility and quickness and positional strikes and that kind of thing. So, yeah, felt good.
That is fantastic. It did not feel good when we had a group full of Necros on the other side, though.
I loved that. I actually
Oh,
had
really?
fights in that match where I was soloed up against one of those Necros and took them down. And for those of you that don't know Guild Wars 2, taking a Necro down that's actually being played decently is very difficult because they've got a bunch of abilities that it's not even so much that they hit hard and will kill you. It's just they have a whole bunch of abilities that allow them to outlast you. Like they are able to renew their health bar in like 2 or 3 different ways, whereas you only get 1 health bar.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I did not do so well. It might be the fact that I play Mesmer and just spam my 1 button.
Yeah,
Great sword, Mesmer 1 1 1 1 3 1 1 4 1 1 1 1. Yeah.
You know, because you made that joke last night too, and it was all I could do not to to bring up the whole skit from you remember from Friends about probably pushing 20 years ago now. The whole Monica thing, the 1, the 2, 1 1 2,
Nope.
3, 4, 7 7 7. Oh, okay. Anyway.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes.
That's what it sounds like to me, and it's really difficult for me to hear that from you.
Look it up, folks. Look it up. That's that. Yeah,
anyway,
it was a fun night. We did okay, and it was a great start. Still need to get Matt into our Guild Wars 2 PvP nights and get that going, because this is sort of starting out for our Crowfall stuff, getting our PvP skills, as you might say.
Well, your skills. I think it's
with a Z.
We're not even in the honing range yet, because if all you're doing is mashing 1, then
no, I put in 3 and 4 sometimes. Anyways, yeah. I played some Skyforge. That is in open beta now, and it's really, come on, folks, it's a soft launch. It's a free-to-play title with an open beta with no character wipe at the end. It's a soft launch. So played some... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I was a bit jealous of because I've been half of me is taking your advice that Skyforge is fine but not brilliant.
Yep.
And another half of me is really wishing that I should try it. I feel like every time that I don't try it and I hear about other people trying it, there's a little sad part of me that says, "Oh, I should really do that. Maybe I'll just download it." I'm going to download it right now.
There you go. Don't download it during the podcast, Bill.
Of course not.
No. So yes, chat room's asking. Technocat in the chat room's asking. It is in open beta as of today, so you should. Yeah, I recommend it. It's free to play, so go check it out. It is. You will grind like it's 1999 though. But is the grind fun? That's what I'm trying to find out. Guild Wars 2, like we already talked about. Guild of Dungeoneering got a video out with Harry Hall. You can see that on our Facebook page, on YouTube. Got that all over the place. It's a fun game. You should definitely, if you can afford it, you should try it. It is a card-based dungeon crawling RPG. And so if you can make the time to take a look at it, you should do that. Take a look at our video first. I've got some gameplay of it. The soundtrack alone is well worth the price. It is absolutely fantastic. I am in love with that soundtrack. It is probably the one that has stuck in my head the most this entire year.
I've actually been starting to come around to that notion of it. I'm going to look at it and see, and yeah, I'm going to check it out. I've seen some of the gameplay video, and it does look compelling. It looks like it's doing something just a little bit different. Originally I was kind of looking at it as just another game on the pile that I'm never going to play, but it actually looks different from. I don't even have a direct comparison to say it's like this, but blah.
And you can buy the soundtrack on Steam. So
Oh,
that's kind of cool. Well worth it. You might even want to buy the soundtrack. It is really that good.
cool.
Yeah, and I've been working my way to 100% on Batman Arkham Knight, but of course Skyforge and Guild of Engineering have pulled my attention away from that. First Batman game I've ever wanted to 100%. Most of the other ones I've just finished the story and I've been done, but each of the side missions is its own story chain. And more so than just sort of a one-off get the Riddler stuff blah blah blah, it's actual full-blown stories going on that you uncover as you complete. Um, the only one I'm still 0% on all the Riddler stuff because I really hate the Riddler stuff, but I'm over 60% on all the other ones, including the battle ones where you have to take back the towers and the street thing chunks and stuff like that the bad guys have taken over. I think 70 something percent complete, and you have an option to restart the game with your character with all the skills that you had in at the end of your previous playthrough. It's like story plus they call it. So I've even done that. That's how much I'm enjoying it. So
Now
wow.
you're playing it on PS4, right?
I am. Yeah.
Because I was reading about Arkham Knight earlier today. We don't have it in the show notes, but
Yeah.
no, Harry's not here to disagree, so
Yeah.
we're gonna do that. Apparently, Arkham Knight is so badly broken on PC right now that they don't even have any plans to have a fix ready until like September.
The fall is what I heard. Yeah.
Supposedly quote unquote leaked emails are saying that the game is not going to be ready, or it's not going to be in a good state
Yeah.
until the fall, which people are translating to be September,
Yeah.
which is just, it's disappointing.
Like, how could you even come close to releasing? Like, they did release it, but why would they? I know the pressure to release on all the platforms at once, blah, 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 blah. Why? Why?
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean, that happens on anything from time to time, PC more than console. But I was thinking about this a little bit with the recent console launch, and I mean, Xbox One and PS4 are a year old now. So this first year, every other year that there's been a brand new console launch or a new generation of consoles launching, the drums of the end of PC gaming and the PC as a dead platform were always very loud, and I haven't heard it hardly at all with this generation of consoles. So I was kind of wondering about the pattern of that. I'm wondering are we seeing people just kind of realize that the whole discussion of PC gaming is dead is silly because people keep saying it over and over and it never happens, or is there something that's kind of become constant with PC gaming over the last generation of console releases that has kind of made it a little bit more durable to that kind of criticism, and it's kind of being finally accepted as, yes, this isn't a hacky gaming platform that only really computer savvy people are going to be able to do anything with, but now it's an accepted way to play a game, almost into to the exact same level as a Xbox One or PS4 or whatever. What do you think? Do you see that trend too?
I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with you on that point. I can see where you're coming from, but no,
like,
I don't.
Are you hearing the noise? Like the PC is doomed?
Oh, but we've heard that for 15 years, right?
Well, no, that's my point, though, is that we're not hearing it this time.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I must have misheard you or not listened correctly. I'm going to blame myself. I'm sorry, Bill, for not listening appropriately.
Oh, sorry. Did you say something?
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're not hearing that quite as much. It's always a background little murmur, but yeah, it's not quite as loud. But this is kind of like, hey, look, the PC version's the one that we let be broken, not the console one.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's kind of the thing. Arkham Knight is wildly broken on the PC, but that's not the conversation is not turning to say, "Oh, PCs stink, just get a console." Yeah. It's just Arkham Knight stinks, get another game.
Yeah. I totally see that. And the fault is falling squarely on the developer, which it should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, good.
Absolutely. All right, so that's what we have played in game. Want to mention our fantastic, wonderful, super cool backers on our Kickstarter campaign. You can go check it out at tinyurl.com/MMO Reporter Packs. And we are now 65% funded in just over a week. Bill, I am incredibly impressed with our community. You are all fantastic, wonderful people.
That's wild. Like, this is going even better than I expected it to do. We appreciate it a whole lot. Like, it's the PAX events and the reporting that we do at PAX and everything like that is a big deal for us. Like, not just because it's fun and we really enjoy to do it, but I actually kind of feel like it's like, I feel like we put out good content all the year round, but this is like the real sprint to great content, and it's a lot of effort, but it feels worth it at the end. So I'm really glad to get that feedback from everyone to say, yes, we like it too. So thank you very much.
That's very awesome. And to celebrate that, as well as to thank all of our Patreon patrons, we haven't been mentioning our Patreon campaign while we've been doing this Kickstarter. I am very, very happy to premiere our latest MMO Reporter song. This is called Dumb Ways to Die in MMOs. Stealing thread off of the tank. Overhealing, you'll get no thanks. Too much DPS without a rest. Seeing if your healer is up to the test. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Jump puzzles that make you fall. Traps and dungeons that make you small. Standing still, dying in the poop. To Quaddle will send you for a loop. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Shaking hand with the Nazgul's rough. Killing trolls, they're not so tough. Turtle raids kill all, radiance or not. Horses run you into a fence, ready or not. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Follows not for AFK. Sell all your gear, you don't need it anyway. Lich King diss, it'll be your doom. I wonder what's in that room. So many dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Mistake a troll for a wagon in skirmish runs. Pull that boss when your healer yells out of mana. Pull that world boss out of party. Run through trash, you'll be sorry. Take a bio break without announcing. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly dumbest ways to die. Dumbest ways to die. Dumbest ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Hey, look, it's a dragon. I wonder if he wants to be my friend.
There you go. There is the newest MMO Reporter song. We'll have that up on YouTube very, very shortly. Bill, I sent it out to everyone. Had you heard that before, or was that your first listen?
Oh no, I heard it before.
Okay.
It was many dumb ways to die. Pretty sure I've died doing every single one of those things.
I hope that the chat room and all of you out there enjoyed it as well. All right, let's move things along to the news. We've got some news from the ESO World Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. They have got some new DLC that's going to be coming out for the game. Liberate the Imperial City. It's DLC.
It's DLC. You know what? I don't like that. No, we don't have DLC. That's a bad word. As far as MMOs are concerned, I think DLC is bad. We're going to call this, we're calling it Super Happy Download Time. Liberate the Imperial City. Super Happy Download Time. Done.
Got
Changed.
it. Okay. Well, that will be the new hashtag. This is actually a substantial content patch, which they could have called it that too. It's got, let's see here, 3 new dungeons, 6 new spaces, zones, areas, and stuff like that. New quests, a new gameplay mechanics, a whole bunch of new items for Veteran Rank 16, some new racial motifs, some new pets, polymorphs, costumes. I mean, tons of stuff here. I think it's really interesting that they've got a PvP public dungeon coming into here as well. Mm-hmm. One of the few okay, I might get some haters out this. One of the few things that I liked about Aeon, because the game was grindy like crazy. And one of the few things I liked is they had PvP competitive dungeons in that game where you would be going down 2 different paths, racing the other group, and then there'd be choke points where you'd come in and then your paths would split again and you go down PvE and come back together like that, which I thought was interesting. So the idea of having public dungeons, which also have a PvP element to it, is somewhat interesting to me. So that's really cool. They're going to have the Imperial Sewers, which are going to be a PvP public dungeon.
Dark Age of Camelot did that really well with the Darkness Falls dungeon, or at least I thought it was done really well.
Yeah.
It could be super frustrating if the other servers or the other factions were stronger, but it was pretty frequent that it was a balanced thing. Like each world, even if they were underpowered or underpopulated, they still found a way to capture that dungeon from time to time, and it actually made it really fun because you'd have to have your dedicated PvPers in there strategizing and attacking the pinch points in the weak areas and that kind of thing and taking over the dungeon. And then you'd have to have your dedicated PvEers that are willing to lead a raid and actually complete the fights in that dungeon that were too difficult to do in a small group or anything like that. So if they could recreate that kind of area, that's an amazing experience. That you could easily. It's one of those kind of experiences where you sit down and it's 8 o'clock and you do it once and you look at the clock and it's 3 a.m. and you don't even know how that happened.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Technocat in the chat room is saying DCO called their new content DLC till just recently. Apparently, it was very confusing for their community.
Okay, well, and I was ranting about this a little bit before the show too. DLC feels like one of those terms that video game companies love because it was like this windfall of money that they discovered, that if they called something DLC and they charged money for something they didn't used to charge money for, like a content patch or something, that it was just money flowing in, and it's great. And they seem to think that everybody shares their opinion about how awesome DLC is. And I don't know that there's a lot of gamers that actually appreciate DLC. Patches, sure. Expansions, fine. But calling it DLC, it really does have a bad connotation. There's a lot of terms that you could use in the MMO space that are not DLC to kind of convey the same idea. That's fine. Like you could call this a mini expansion. You could call it an adventure update. You could call it a
content patch.
Content patch. You could call it ESO 2.0 if you want to go crazy. But to call it DLC just kind of makes me think that it really makes me feel like they don't understand MMOs and MMO players.
And especially
maybe
with go ahead.
Go ahead,
I was going to say with Elder Scrolls background, maybe this is going to be horse armor. They're going to scrap all this and it's going to be horse armor. You remember that? Because this is where the whole DLC thing started.
Yep. Charging good money for trivial
it's like
things. Like
$20 for horse armor.
at the feature list here, I'm not seeing. I wouldn't call this trivial. This looks. I
No.
mean, maybe it's not an expansion level of stuff, although it's not too far off from some of the expansions that we've seen out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's got an actual expansion price and approaching expansion level content. So I don't hate what they're offering here. It's one of those little things that just tweaks me. Like calling it DLC, just it's like you have that smile on your face and you're really enjoying it, and then you see that one word and your smile just dips a little bit. Like, oh, you did that. Oh, fine, I'll get over it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is very, very substantial. And here's the cool thing. Included in ESO Plus membership or 2,500 crowns, which is about $25 in the Crown store.
Right. Now, how does crowns acquisitions work? Can you earn crowns?
No. You buy crowns,
Okay, so
that's it.
it's just straight turning dollars into incomprehensible currency.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
But
get
hey,
that.
if you pay your $15 or $10 or whatever your ESO Plus subscription is, you've got this, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's I like it when they do a buy to play or free to play like this and they offer a subscription. Then I absolutely love it when they do this for content. I mean, if they're going to charge at all, hey, don't charge for the people who are doing the subscription.
The one thing that makes me nervous about it, though, if I was a subscriber and I decided, no, I don't feel like subscribing and I'm going to be a free player or a buy to play player, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Do all these benefits go away? Do you lose access to the new space? Do you lose access?
I would think so. Yeah.
So yes, it's free for your subscription, but it's only free for as long as you maintain your subscription. That's what I would be worried about. Whereas if you just pony up your $25, presumably you've got it forever.
Well, I think that's just a different way of looking at it. Don't look at this as, oh, pay a subscription so I don't have to buy it. Think of it, hey, I want all the benefits of the subscription. Oh, and I'm also going to get this. If I end up wanting not to be subscribed anymore, not to get those benefits, I can just pony up and get this and have it forever whether I'm subscribed or not. So it's a bonus for subscribers rather than a negative if you quit your subscription, is the way I think of it.
And it's a bonus for ESO because if somebody does quit subscribing, they still have to pony up $25 if they want to continue to play. So it's like double dipping for them.
Well, anyway, not really, but I don't see it as double dipping like that.
Well, it is. You're getting subscription money for people until they don't want to subscribe anymore. And then if they want to be that casual player, it's still going to cost them $25.
Yeah, but to me, double dipping implies something that they're planning on. I think that this is just the way that it works. They're not like, hey, if we do it this way, then we're going to get extra money. No, I think it's more of a, well, we want to have some sort of benefit for people who do subscribe. Let's give them access to this content. Well, you're not subscribed anymore, so now you need to buy it. Like, I don't know if they thought of it that way. I mean, we're not in those meetings, so we don't know that. But it doesn't, the way it's presented here doesn't seem like they're trying to make 2 times the money on the same content, or make money twice on the same content.
Yeah, my inner pessimist sense is tingling. Yes, I see how it could work. If you're an eternal subscriber, then you always have that benefit.
Correct.
And that's fine. But it does. It feels like it could be a double dip. Yeah.
There's also 2 new PvE dungeons that have regular and veteran version. Sorry. Oh, I was just looking up. That's why I was distracted. You get an allotment of crowns to spend in the in-game store with your subscription. So if you want to save those, then you can. You get 1,500 every month. 4,500 if you go for 90 days. 9,000 for 180 days. So you could save those crowns and then you quit your subscription and you spend the crowns that you earned while subscribed.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not quite. That's it's lacking evil for sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
I don't hate it. This is a decent package.
I
If I was an ESO player,
yeah.
this would be acceptable to me.
Here's the thing. I really, really, really want to like ESO. They are doing everything right in this free to play transition. But I
No,
play the
buy to
game
play, not free to
buy to
play.
play. I'm sorry, buy to play. They're doing it all right. All those little check boxes that we say, well, this was okay, but they should have done this. They're doing all that. I'm bored to tears when I play it. To tears.
Now, is it that you just don't have anyone to play with? Like, do you have
Maybe I need someone from our audience who's on Xbox One to friend me or something and play together or something like that. But holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah, that could be part of it, but I'm not having the same boredom in Skyforge. Right?
Oh, really?
No, I'm not. So, I don't know. Buy an Xbox One, Bill.
I would be happy to.
There you go. Done. I'll get you
It,
you ESO, you get the Xbox One.
yeah, that sounds good.
Done. All right, so we'll have a full list of everything they've got here. This is a really good content patch. Lots of stuff in here. It really seems to hit all those different aspects of players, from collectible people to raiders, dungeoners to casual players. And all this is lots of this stuff is available. All content available to players level 10 and up. So there you go. All right, Bill, you got some news for us from Guild Wars 2.
Do have a little bit of news. It's just some more. Speaking of expansions, by the way, more Heart of Thorns drops. We got some more details. So we've kind of finalized all the basic legends that are going to go into the Revenant class that's coming in with Heart of Thorns. For those of you that don't know, this new class is kind of based on its abilities are drawn from heroes from the Guild Wars past. So the last legend is a legend by the name of Shiro Tagachi, who is in the original I believe it was Guild Wars Factions. He was an NPC character who had a role. He was a bodyguard for one of the royal families of Kantha. Anyway, who wound up getting corrupted and convinced to actually kill the royal family that he was employed by and dedicated to and everything like that. Very tragic story and everything like that. But also kind of a badass NPC as well too, from the original Guild Wars 2. And we'll have some links. You can actually go to the Guild Wars wiki and look up his story, and it's interesting. But anyway, so that's the final legend, and this legend is going to be kind of an ability line that gives the Revenant some DPS punch, because Shiro is a dual blade wielding assassin, and that's what the abilities that are coming through for the Shiro Tagachi Revenant line are dedicated to. So what we've got now for all the base lines are Shiro Tagachi, who's your DPS line. You've got Ventari, who was a Centauri prophet. There's actually lots of references to the tablets of Ventari in the Guild Wars 2 storyline. Ventari is the character that the Revenant's going to be pulling from for their healing and support abilities. Malix the Unyielding is a demon from original Guild Wars, who's going to kind of focus on more of a condition damage type of build, as opposed to the shock damage build that the Shiro line is going to give. And then finally, or originally, the Yalis Ironhammer build, which was a dwarf from King from the original Guild Wars storyline. That's going to be more of like a tanky survivability type of build, and they've got details for what the abilities are and how they're going to fit in with the Revenant all the way through. But this is actually such a cool way to build a character class, like diving back into the actual lore of your own game and basing the animations and the abilities and everything from characters that you've already generated in your previous game. That's, to me, this is a really nice send back to original Guild Wars. Admittedly, I wasn't an original Guild Wars expert, but it was it's a nice nod. I appreciate it. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, this is looking like I'm so excited about the Revenant. Sword will be fun, bursty, and you talked a whole bunch about lore, and I listened sort of, but I'm so like I skip quest text. You're into that stuff. You can quote World of Warcraft lore and understand the stories, and I'm like, cool stuff, dude. Kill.
There's one page. It's like one page articles describing what the characters are about. It's just, it adds so much flavor to the game. I like that kind of thing. So this, to me, this is a nice touch. This is better than if they just made undead warrior that is got all kinds of varying abilities and can wear heavy armor. Charge. This is
Stabby,
I mean,
stabby.
even if it's not perfect, even if it's not the like high literature lore, I appreciate the effort and the thrust and the kind of the self-awareness to say this isn't a spreadsheet game, that there's actually story that we're trying to drive with it as well too. And I think that fits in with a lot of the message that Guild Wars 2 has tried to push, that this isn't a game this isn't a min-max game. This is a game that's got that's more, it's more actiony, it's about fun, it's about the story and that kind of thing. So to me, this is it's a nice nod to the overall message that they're trying to convey, or at least the overall message that I'm picking up.
1-1-1-3 1-1-1-1-4 1-1-1-1-1. That's my lore.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to say that you suck out loud, but
you don't have to say it, Bill. Everybody knows.
Somebody less couth than I might. So
yeah.
Speaking of couth, so if diving into the Revenant lore isn't your style, the other announcement that came out today is they actually posted a description of the new game mode that's going to be coming out with Heart of Thorns called Adventures. Adventures are solo only nuggets of the game that you're going to play that are. They're not necessarily combat. They're not necessarily jumping puzzles or anything like that. They actually point out in the article that they thought about kind of building them that way, and they really didn't want to limit these down. So what they're going to do is they're going to build up these, like the way I've been kind of reading them is they're almost like guild challenges are now, except only for solo people. And the interesting thing that they're doing with it on top of that is that they're actually making it competitive. They're actually going to have a leaderboard for your performance in these adventures. So as they come up, you're going to start them, you're going to kick them off, and you're going to be either timed or they're going to be tracking points for it or something like that. It doesn't say specifically, but not only are you going to be doing these adventures for your own or for rewards or for your own satisfaction of completing something, there's actually going to be a competitive nature for it. So competitive PvE, which is a very weird concept for me in an MMO. Can you think of anyone else or anywhere else that actually does competitive PvE?
Lotro. With for a while they had leaderboards for the skirmishes and stuff like that. I think WildStar did some stuff like that with their dungeons, with their ratings, but
yeah. I'd forgotten about the skirmishes. I don't think I ever looked at the leaderboards for skirmishes. I know it kept my own stats for them, but I don't think I ever remembered comparing my skirmish stats with anyone else.
Yeah, that was before they got rid of my.lotro, right?
Oh, I see.
Once they got rid of that, goodbye leaderboards. Yeah. Guild Wars had competitive PvE. Surprise, surprise. They're bringing back all the cool Guild Wars stuff in Guild Wars 2. Strongholds, competitive PvE, etc., etc.
Very cool. I don't know. I mean, I'll certainly play this. I think this is a neat idea. I mean, obviously, I'm a little bit biased because I'm a solo MMO player for the most part, which is my own little social issue, but whatever. Hey, they're making this game for me. It feels like they've been making this game for me for the last 5 years.
There you go. All right. I want to mention our sponsors real quick. Audible. Go to audiblepodcast.com/MMO Reporter. Try out their service. They are fantastic. They get me through my 45-minute drive to work. That and podcasts. I can listen to some audiobooks, and it is absolutely fantastic. And, of course, our friends over at Doghouse Systems. Go to doghousesystems.com. Use the coupon code MMO Reporter, and you can get a free 120 gig SSD with your purchase. Let's move things along to our quick mentions.
And I grew attached to my little virtual dude. So I ask, please don't delete my guy after beta. Please don't crush that part of my soul. Please don't delete my guy after beta. Please, my guy makes me feel whole.
All right, Bill, I have to say we hummed and hawed about whether or not we are going to mention this next little bit in this story because we don't like to necessarily give the whole press where somebody is going for any press is good press thing, but we need to talk a little bit about Derek Smart and his rant against Star Citizen. We talked about this last week. We do want to mention it again, and props go out to massively to Justin, actually, our good friend Justin Sipster, for writing this story. Talk about the whole fact that Derek Smart wrote a freaking list of demands that they are demanding of Chris Roberts and Star Citizen. They are who's the freak is they? Derek Smart, who gave you the freaking right to make a list of demands based on the Star Citizen community. And we're not even going to mention your game. And
the demands are worded like the backers for Star Citizen are actual investors, and I realize there's probably some people that might see it like that they're part owners of the Star Citizen future and everything like that, and some people may have dumped enough money to legitimately think that they should have that kind of right. But I'm pretty sure in the legalese of every backing statement and Kickstarter campaign and everything like that, it's very clearly tailed out that no, you don't own any part of this game. You're not a member of the board. You're not the one making business decisions or anything like that. But all these demands are written like somebody who's like a shareholder, like somebody who deserves to get status reports and know, like it's almost like they Star Citizen's this publicly traded company that needs to show all of its operations in order to be able to comply with trading laws and everything. And it's just dumb.
Okay.
So
sorry, I need to react to the chat. Oh, go ahead. Okay, I'll wait till you're done.
No.
Chat room.
I'll breathe for a moment.
Ken from Chicago is saying that, and I know it's partially in jest, but he's saying it's one thing for Chris and Harry to rant against Star Citizen for Harry's quote unquote personal suffering, but not Derek. Battlecruiser was delayed how long? Smart. And I think the difference, because I know that some people are going to say that, even though his comment, I'm sure, is in jest. I hope it's in jest. The difference is we're giving our opinions and we are suggesting that people stop sending their money their way, but we are not getting a list of demands and trying to rally the community to form a lynch mob to go against Star Citizen and Chris Roberts and stuff like that. Derek Smart was a backer. As you said, he's no longer a backer because they gave him his damn money back because he was that much of a pain in the butt. Don't expect anybody else to get their money back, though, and they can't just be a backer. This was they said in their statement he was trying to get pre-R for his project, which we will not mention here. and that was why he was doing this. He even
See,
put that in his post, right?
and the thing that makes this a little bit distasteful for me, and if we're going to compare it directly against ranting about a business model on our podcast compared to this is the kind of thing that a particularly bored and or sleazy lawyer could actually grab a hold of and actually make a run at and wind up taking somebody to court and really create an uncomfortable precedent setting situation in the court system. Like they like talking about disclosing the true state of the game, disclosing how funds are being spent, and
Have you used a private jet? We want to know.
it's, I mean, that kind of thing, and nepotism and that kind of thing. This is that's the thing that really makes this distasteful and uncomfortable for me, is that this is it's transforming from the narrative that goes along with game criticism and editorializing and that kind of thing, and it goes into almost, it's not quite a legal attack, but it's nudging towards that line to me, and that's to me is where it becomes like, no, this is now uncomfortable and gross.
Yep. All right, let's move along. No more publicity for him. Neverwinter Strongholds is launching on August 11th on PC. We've got an announcement trailer for that as well. We'll link that in the show notes. No word on an Xbox One launch, although they have mentioned it will be later this year. If you want an idea of what this is like, take a look at the Star Trek Online basically player-owned star stations. You're going to clear out the area around your your stronghold, and then you're going to have some upkeep. You're going to upgrade it, and then you're going to get some guild quests, etc. So that is coming out August 11th on PC. If you're interested in that, Neverwinter, I think everyone should try out. It is a free-to-play game, and I think it's pretty well done. And last but not least, you might be interested in this, Bill. Shroud of the Avatar sells out of player towns. So they had these player towns that you could get that could have overland access, which basically meant they could be plopped down where, and it wasn't anywhere, you had to request where you wanted it, but it could be not connected to another town. Any more player towns / housing will have to connect to either NPC towns or player towns. So these sort of offshoot, they've sold out of them, which, wow, that's...
When did they go on sale?
Yeah, it
looks like it was just 2 days ago.
Yeah, like this was really, really quick that this happened. So, kind of cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. So Shroud of the Avatar is doing well. I wish I was more interested in it. Other people are really super interested in it, but I'm not. No, I don't know. Maybe it's my graphic bias against that there.
I think Leonor is in love with it, which means it'll probably be dead in a year.
Oh, no! It'll die! Darn it. I'm sorry, everybody. Leonor likes this game, so it's going to die. That's just how things work. Darn it. Leonor.
Don't spend any money on it. Just hope it's free to play.
All right. Okay, so that is our show for this week. Bill, if people want to get a hold of us, how could they do that?
There's a bunch of ways. You can visit our website over at mmoreporter.com. You can email us at mmo.reporter@gmail.com. You can visit us on Facebook, facebook.com/MMOreporter. You can tweet at us at MMO_reporter for Chris, at Harry Hall for Hair, at Leonor for Leonor, at MMO Bill for yours truly. Give us a call, leave us a voicemail, let us know what you think. Let us know if you're Derek Smart and you don't like our show. At 616-666-6778. You can visit us on YouTube, youtube.com/MMO Reporter Network. And finally, head on over to Patreon. If you're looking to throw a couple pennies our way, visit patreon.com/MMO Reporter. And I bet you there's a little Kickstarter or something like that people could go and visit if they wanted to too, right, Chris?
tinyurl.com/MMO Reporter Packs. We are 65% 65, almost 66. We are literally $32 away from 66% backed. So help us out, folks, please, and thank you. It will be an incredible help to get us to PAX. So go check that out. Bill, it was an absolute pleasure recording with you, as always.
Thank you. It was balanced. I felt like we didn't have two other people getting in the way of the show here.
It was good. It was good.
I miss you, Harry and Leonor. I desperately miss you.
All right, and thanks to our chat room for coming out and hanging out with us here tonight. We really appreciate it. We're going to end things off here as we hope to see you in game with our brand new song.
Too much DPS without a rest, seeing if your healer is up to the test. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Jump puzzles that make you fall, traps and dungeons that make you small. Standing still, dying in the poop. To Quaddle will send you for a loop. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Shaking hand with the Nazgul's rough, killing trolls, they're not so tough. Turtle raids kill all, radiance or not. Horses run you into a fence, ready or not. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Fall is not for AFK. Sell all your gear, you don't need it anyway. Lich King diss, it'll be your doom. I wonder what's in that room. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die. Mistake a troll for a wagon in skirmish runs. Pull that boss when your healer yells out of mana. Pull that world boss out of party. Run through trash, you'll be sorry. Take a bio break without announcing. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly the dumbest ways to die. Dumbest ways to die. Dumbest ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Hey, look, it's a dragon. I wonder if he wants to be my friend.
Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the other podcasts at MMOreporter.com or by clicking on any of the links here. And please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MMOreporter. Thanks, everyone, and see you in game.